Dana here. Welcome to Sew, Learn, Create. I'm glad you joined us today. And if you like what you see, be sure you click that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to support us in other ways, we have a Patreon page with multiple tiers. And on my Etsy shop, I have sewing kits available for a lot of the projects that we do on the channel. Today's project, we're going to be talking about Easter basket fillers. And this is a Boo Boo Bunny, and it's an ice pack. It's filled with rice, so you can put it in your freezer and keep it cold. And then when your child has a boo-boo, they can just take it out as their friend, put it on their boo-boo, and it makes them smile. And I will make us a playlist of some other ideas we have on the channel that work great for Easter basket fillers. And it will be called Easter Basket Goodies. We have the pocket hug, which is great for kids of all ages, a scrunchie, a marble maze, keychains, and there's several different keychains on the channel, so I'll list all of those. The snap pouch pocket, bookmark. I have several bookmarks on the channel. A car freshie, a luggage tag, and a notebook holder. So those are just a few of the things that we have on the channel, and I'll list all the ones that would make great gifts for Easter baskets in that playlist called Easter Basket Goodies. But for today, let's make our Boo Boo Bunny ice pack. For today's project, the Boo Boo Bunny ice pack, you're going to need the following supplies. You're going to need 2 pieces of fabric that are approximately 5 inches by 7 inches. You're going to need the pattern, and I'll put this in the description. And on the pattern will also be a little poem that you can put with your Boo Boo Bunny, and it says, "If a boo-boo makes you crummy, go and grab your freezer bunny. Hold it to your boo-boo tight, everything will be all right." And I'll put that on the pattern so you'll have that poem also. So you'll need your 2 pieces of fabric. You'll need some regular cooking rice, like you get at the grocery store. A small funnel is helpful to put that in the rice in the Boo Boo Bunny. And then just some basic sewing supplies. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our fabrics right side together. And we're going to put both of them together because we're going to cut this out, both pieces at the same time. Then I'm going to place my pattern, and I want to make sure my fabric does have a selvage down here on one piece, so I want to make sure that I'm above that selvage because I don't want that white in my project. And then I'm going to pin that down. And then what I like to do when I'm cutting out shapes that are kind of different than just your basic shapes, I like to trace my pattern. So I'm just using a regular number 2 pencil, and I'm going to trace all the way around my pattern. You could cut it out, just pin it and cut it out if you are comfortable doing that. Sometimes I don't get the accuracy that I like, so tracing allows me to get that accuracy. And the more accurate your pattern pieces are, your cutout piece, the better your project turns out. So now I can see my shape, and then I want to be sure that if I'm cutting 2 pieces of fabric out together, that I do pin those before I start cutting, because I don't want the bottom piece to shift on me when I'm cutting. And then I'm going to cut my shape out. And this pattern does have the seam allowance included, so you cut right on the line. Okay, so now we have our pattern pieces together. And then when we go to the machine, we're going to stitch all the way around, and we're going to leave a small opening. And we want to leave that small opening on the side, either of the sides, not at the bottom. And the reason for that is because the bottom is where you're going to place the Boo Boo Bunny on top of your bruise or whatever. And you don't want that. You're going to have to hand sew it, and sometimes that's a little rougher, so you don't want that on the bottom. So we're going to leave an opening on one side or the other. So I'm going to clip my Boo Boo Bunny together, and to remind me where to leave that opening, I'm going to use my red and green clip. So my green is where I'm going to start, stitch all the way around, and stop at my red. You do not want this opening very big. You want it pretty small, just big enough to turn your bunny right side out. So I'm going to go ahead and clip my bunny all the way around. And then we'll go to the machine, start here, stitch all the way around, and stop there. So let's go to the machine. So now we're going to stitch all the way around, starting here at our green, stopping at our red, and leaving this tiny opening. So I'm going to remove my green clip, and then I'm going to use the outside edge of my machine foot as my guide because I want a full seam allowance for this. Starting with my needle down, and then I'm just going to go slow around these curves. And when I need to adjust, I'm going to make sure my needle is down. I'm going to lift my presser foot and then just adjust my fabric. Keeping it in line with the outside edge of the foot. And when I get up to this part of my ear, I'm going to make sure my needle's down, lift, and then just line it back up, and that'll make that kind of tight point. And then when you get to in between his ears, come down a little further, put your needle down, and then rotate, making sure that the edge of your foot is in line with this edge of the ear. Then I'm back to my red clip, so I'm going to take my red clip off and put my finger there to remind me to stop. And remember, I don't want this opening very big at all. And I'm going to back stitch. Now we've stitched all the way around, and we'll go back to the mat for the next step. Now we've stitched all the way around and left our small opening here. And I like to flip my project over anytime I stitch things just to make sure that everything has been caught. So before we turn this right side out, we want to take scissors and we want to clip just really small little slits around all of these curves, and especially right here in the middle, we want to cut so that when we turn it right side out, these ears will open up. And when you do that, it just helps ease that fabric inside. So we're going to clip this one first, and I'm going to go pretty deep so that those ears will now open up. I just don't want to cut my stitching. And then I'm going to just take and make small slits all the way around those curves. And you can tell those slits are not right up next to each other. They're about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less apart, and they're not coming anywhere close to my stitching. But that does help the fabric ease, and it'll make those curves look nicer. And then when I come to this part of the ear, I just want to make sure that this point is kind of sharp, so I'm going to come just a little bit deeper right there at that point. Again, allowing that to ease, but I'm not anywhere close to my stitching. Go just a little bit further. Then when I come down here to the bigger part, I just need to do the part that is kind of on the curve. So I don't have to go all the way around. I'm just doing that curved edge. I'm going to finish clipping this, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Now I'm back around to where my opening is, and I do not want to cut slits around my opening because when I turn that, I want it to be turned in as a full piece and not little bitty pieces. So I'm going to clip just right up to that, and I clipped right here, but this section where my opening is still one whole piece. So then I'm going to insert my finger, and we're going to turn this right side out. And this is where a chopstick helps. You don't want to use the point of your scissors because you can poke a hole through your fabric. So something blunt like a chopstick works really well. And getting his ears, finding them is kind of the tricky part. But just keep poking around and you eventually find both of his ears. Then when I've got him turned, I'm going to take my chopstick and I'm going to kind of run it along those seams to make them lie flat, and that also helps shape him a little better. Down here at the bottom. And then I can see if this is still kind of tight, I could go back in there, turn just that part, find where that slit is stitched, and see if I could clip a little bit more or if it's going to be too close to my stitching. And mine's going to be really close to my stitching, so I'm going to just kind of leave that. But if you haven't clipped enough, then that is, you can go back in and just kind of double check it. And then before we go on, we're going to want to take and press this with our iron, because anytime you press your project, it just makes things turn out just a little bit nicer. And it also helps those seams kind of lay down flat. For the next part, we want our bunny ears. They're not stuffed with rice, they're loose. So we want to draw, we're going to have to stitch a line across here so that we don't get rice up into our ears. So you're going to take your ruler, you're going to measure 2.5 inches down approximately. And you can kind of see that's where that line is going to be from the tip of his ear down 2.5 inches. So I'm going to just put a little line here, and I'm going to measure from both ears 2.5 inches, and then I like to just lightly draw that line so I know where I'm going to stitch. So when we go back to the machine, we're just going to stitch across this line. That will keep our ears loose and only put the rice in the bottom half of our bunny. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to stitch this straight line across here so that our ears will be loose and not filled with rice, and the rice will only go in the bottom. So we're just going to start right here at the edge. I'm going to stitch forward a little bit, back stitch to make it nice and secure. And back stitch here at the end. Now our stitch line is there, and we'll go back to the mat. Now we've stitched this line so rice can't go up in here, and we're ready to fill our bunny. And I'm going to use this small funnel, and I got mine at Dollar Tree, and I have 1/2 cup of rice. I may not need all of that, but that's a good amount to start with. So then I'm just going to start filling my bunny here. Kind of press it down as you go because you want to fill it all the way. Then I'm going to check him and see if he's about as full, and I think I'm going to see if I can't get just a little bit more. So if I kind of roll him, then it kind of frees up the top portion of the bunny and makes it easier to fill him. Okay, now he's about as full as I want him to be, and you can determine how full, but I like mine kind of fluffy but still have a little bit of room to conform to my boo-boo. So then the last thing we're going to do to close him up is we're going to hand stitch. And I'm using just a white thread to close him up. And I like to start and put my knot on the inside. So I put a put my needle on the inside, pull my knot so it's inside the seam. And then I take my thread and put it over the top, and so I'm always going to come from the back side of my seam to stitch. And you want those stitches pretty close together because rice is not very big, so you don't want the rice coming out when you're finished. And I'm just barely catching both sides of that fabric. That's why when you stitch him, you don't want this hole very big. Then when I come to the end, I just want to make sure, again, that I catch just past that opening. So I make sure it's all good and closed. And then I like to do a double knot. So I'm going to put my needle through, and it makes this loop. Put my needle back through the loop and pull it. And I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times, depending on how secure I think that end needs to be. Now our bunny is all closed, so we can kind of give him a little bit of shape here. And then to make the ears stand up, I'm going to take 17 inches of ribbon, and you don't want it much wider than about 1/2 inch because then it won't tie easily around a small project. You're just going to line him up, pick which side you want to be the front. I kind of like this side a little better for some reason, so we're just going to take our ribbon and we're going to tie a knot. So we're going to do, just kind of pull it, and then I pull it tight and get my ears kind of floppy like that. Pull him down, kind of pull his ears out, and then I double knot that right here, so that that doesn't come loose when I tie. If my bow comes loose, it still doesn't untie his ears. Get his ears. Then I'm going to make a bow. Make my bow however big I want it to be. And then I'm going to clip my tails. And I don't want my tails very long, because when a child is holding this on a bruise or whatever, then I don't want those tails down by the bottom. And then I like to take just some tacky glue, or Elmer's glue would work also. And I'm just going to glue that bow right here at the top and at the bottom. That kind of does 2 things. It secures it to the bunny a little bit, but it also will help that bow from not untying on me. Once you got him glued, just let that dry a little bit, and your bunny, Boo Boo Bunny, is complete. I hope you liked today's project, the Boo Boo Bunny Ice Pack. And remember, these would also make great gifts for baby showers or just any small child you have in your life. So, see you in the next one.